The South African film industry has made several strides over the years with features on major global streaming platforms and some of the biggest international festivals. However, there are still some of those who are concerned about the barriers to entry into this field, citing production costs and a lack of access to equipment. While the Gauteng Film Commission is hoping to bridge this gap. For more on this, let's bring in the Commission CEO, who joins us now via our video link this morning. It's great to have you on the program. Thanks very much indeed for making time. How exactly are you hoping to bridge this gap? Are you able to hear us?
Good morning, Ayanda.
I'm not sure if you're able to catch the question. Part of what I understand the Commission is hoping to do is to sort of break down the barriers to entry specifically for young creators in the film industry. How exactly are you hoping to do that?
Yes, indeed. You know, South Africa is really a young democracy, and a lot of our production companies come from previously disadvantaged backgrounds. So there is a need for the Gauteng Film Commission to find ways to develop and supporting emerging up-and-coming production companies, both youth and women. And this is what we have done in one of the ways to, try make sure that the barrier to entry and we are able to bridge the gap. For example, one of the key things, in the film industry is funding and equipment, getting world-class equipment. And what the GFC has done is it has identified the needs in the sector and has provided 25 production companies with some of the best equipment to make sure that some of the films, productions, documentaries are one of the world-class and can literally compete globally.
Yeah, I mean, part of my understanding is that billions are contributed to the South African economy from this particular industry. But those within the sector itself will tell you that they're still concerned about it not being taken seriously enough. How do we shift that dial insofar as that is concerned?
Please repeat the question, Ayanda. I missed the first part.
I was just citing the fact that it's understood that the industry itself contributes billions of rand to the national economy, but some players within the sector are worried that despite that, they're not being taken seriously enough. How do we change that?
One of the best ways to start changing the narrative is to start communicating more about the economic impact of the audiovisual industry or the creative industry as a whole. We do know that we contribute billions, but we are more seen as more of an entertainment industry rather than an industry that does contribute to the economic empowerment of our country and well-being of our people, and also looking into the number of jobs that are created. So one of the first things that we need to do is, firstly, we need to start changing the narrative and how we speak about the industry to say, hey, it does change lives in terms of jobs, in terms of the various contribution to the GDP. But secondly, we need to transform the minds of filmmakers to also have the business mind to it, because most of our creatives are not business-minded. So we need to create and bring the business element into it. The audiovisual industry in South Africa is not literally tapped into. I mean, the industry is literally potential worth of 1 billion rand. And at the moment, and based on stats after COVID, it's literally not even close to that. So as Gauteng Film Commission, we want to make sure that we enable up-and-coming production companies to start making a mark in growing the industry, to also make sure that they are business-minded, but also bringing investment into the country. And with that, we believe, as the government sees and as the community sees, as our country sees the contribution, there will be a mind change. I mean, we know that Forbes already indicated some of the billionaires and millionaires in the future will come from the creative industry. And it is for the creative industry to start believing that in themselves so that the entire public can start believing that.
Yeah. Speaking about the public believing in it, I mean, in the past, the criticism has largely been that a lot of South African-made productions don't match up when it comes to the quality of work that's produced with some of their, international counterparts. And to be fair, I think that's shifted and that's changed slightly. But if this is going to work, consumers need to feel like they're not, sacrificing quality in order to support local content.
Indeed, and part of what the Gauteng Film Commission intends to do is we are out and campaigning to build world-class studios here in Gauteng. And these studios will literally be in the same ranks as your Hollywood studios. And this will also improve quality. You will notice that some of the production companies in South Africa are world-class. And, when you look into and this is some of the things that are not said, some of the international and global movies literally come to access some of the post-production equipment in South Africa. And this is stuff that is really not known. We've got great facilities, we've got great studios in South Africa that already are being tapped on, and it is for us to say, how do we enlarge this as part of creating investment in South Africa, as part of creating global interest, because there's quite a lot here in South Africa. And with the type of production and equipment that we are giving to our beneficiaries, we are giving them quality equipment that will be able to match to world standard, because we are seeing that, there is a need for South African content, South African productions that are there. And we can literally see with the number of awards that has been scooped by a number of production companies supported by the GFC in the last few weeks and months. We're talking about the likes of Margarine, the likes of Tando, the list is endless, the likes of Kidi Boni. And these are some of the emerging production companies. So we are competing, but we need to expand this in order to make a mark in the world. With that said, Ayanda, one of the key projects that as the Gauteng Film Commission we are doing is we are embarking and investing in what we call the Discover Summit that is taking place on the 18th to the 20th of October this year. We're very excited about this project because this project seeks to grow the industry. It seeks to bring investors into the country, because we understand if funding is a problem, the best way to grow it is make sure that there's a business-to-business interaction where production companies have a platform to start engaging with investors. So that is also one of the key ways, but also showcasing some of the world-class equipment that can be utilized and make a difference in the production space as well. So we are literally looking at a very interesting space. It will be an interaction where there will be upskilling, reskilling, but also discussions of new trends, how we can make sure that all the Gauteng production companies and creative literally are able to access markets just beyond where we are, because as Gauteng we are a home to a gateway to Africa and the world. So we believe that we stand head to head with the best globally.
It's certainly a noble ambition, and I hope it all works out because of just how many people stand to benefit if everything goes right. Dumi Lebaka, thanks very much indeed for speaking to us. Kidumeti is the CEO of the Gauteng Film Commission. Appreciate your time.